for this one, you could refer to, yours is yellow, I believe, but you could refer to this paper here. Okay. For this one, it says use the special right triangle formulas to find the variables. Write all answers in simplest radical form. So this is a 45, 45, 90 degree triangle. And we know that in a 45, 45, 90, your legs are the same measurement. Okay, so we know that this is 8 and this is 8. Across from the right angle is x radical 2. Well, your x is that 8 right there. So I could label these 8. We know that this is x, and this is x radical 2. And so 8 would go in for the x. In number 6, I give you that the hypotenuse is 12 radical 2. And then this part right here is your x part. That's your legs. So these are both 12. Okay, now when you have a 30, 60, 90, we have different measurements for each part of the triangle. So here, the short leg is your x value. It's 20. And your hypotenuse is 2 times x. So the hypotenuse would be 2 times 20, which is 40. And then this part right here is your long leg, which is x radical 3. And we know that the x is 20, so this is 20 radical 3. So the short leg is 20, long leg is 20 radical 3, and then the hypotenuse is the 40. Okay, and then in the last one here for number 8, again, we have a 30, 60, 90. So the 5 radical 3, this 5 represents your x, and the x is the short leg. So that's going to be 5. And then the hypotenuse would be 2 times x, which would be 2 times 5, which is 10. Okay, for 9, 10, 11, and 12, we're going to be using the sine, cosine, tangent. So in class we learned that this could represent some old hippie came around here tripping over apples. Also, for the mathematical terms, this is like a fraction. Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent equals opposite over adjacent. So if I look from the angle I'm given, I see that the x is opposite. From that 50, the 10 is my adjacent. And then across from the right angle is your hypotenuse. So if I look to see like what I have to find and what I have, what piece of information do I not need? And in this case, I don't need the h. So if I'm looking at just O and A, which two have OA? Well, tangent does. So I say tangent of 50 degrees equals opposite, so x over adjacent, which is 10. And to solve that, I would multiply both sides by 10. Now, for this, we use the graphing calculator. And so, first, you want to click mode, and you want to make sure that it's in degrees. So if it's not, you would arrow down and over and enter to make sure I got degrees. To get out of the screen, you just hit second mode, and it takes you back to a normal screen. So if I wanted to actually calculate 10 times tangent of 50, I'm going to click this tan. Okay. You see that okay? And then put in the 50 degrees, close the parenthesis, and then enter, and then times that by 10. So the length of the other leg right here is 11.917. It says round to the nearest tenth, so we're going to go with 11.9. Alright, so let's try this one. So from the angle I'm given, 12 is your opposite. Across from the right angle is your hypotenuse. And then the side next to 35 is your adjacent. Just a quick note, you never go from this angle, the 90. You always go from one of those angles over here. So what information do I not need? Well, I don't need the A. I'm given 12 and I'm given that I got to find X. So OH. So OH is sine. So sine of 35 equals opposite over hypotenuse. So for this one, we actually multiply by X first. And so it looks like X times sine 35 equals 12. But to get the X by itself, you divide by sine 35. And so, to go back to the calculator, clear that out, I do 12 divided by sine 35, close my parenthesis, and I get 20.92. So that rounds to 20.9. And that is my answer for that.